Hey everyone, my name is Jamie and this is a video walkthrough of Device 6, the iOS game app that you can find in the App Store. And this is for WikiGameGuides.com. Bear with me through this walkthrough as I'm capturing it on an iPad, and it is difficult because usually when you turn an iPad, the landscape portrait view would change with you, but on this game it is locked in. You cannot unlock it, and so you will see some things that are upside down. However, if it is a view of a solution that is pertinent to this game, I will edit it in my editing software before putting it on YouTube, so it should be right side up when you actually see it. So first we're going to start with Chapter 1, Awakening, obviously. So the first clue here is the 2001. So she says that there is a painting of an orange hung on the wall. Anna felt a sharp pain in her head. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. When she opened her eyes, she noticed the number 2001 right in the center of the orange, painted in a slightly different hue. So we will need to know 2001. The next clue is the oil paintings, etchings, and lithographs, and they say Hope 5 Lies. Hope 5 Lies. So the next thing that happens is you come across a couple pictures, and then you get to this cabinet. It stands against a wall, and it has a lock device on it, and you see the buttons L and R for left and right, and you will need to solve this puzzle in order to advance. The next thing is you will find a computer in a room, the third floor study, that has a portrait of Leonardo da Vinci hung on the wall. The computer is going to ask for a 4-digit code, and you will also need to solve that in order to advance. So next, we're going to third floor master's voice room. Okay, you hear a voice.
In the room of the Renaissance
He
man.
says in the room of the Renaissance man, which is Leonardo da Vinci, the Renaissance man. He says the math problem is key. A framed number where red meets yellow. Everybody knows that red and yellow make orange. In a frame. Plus another framed number between hope and lies. And we know that that's 5. Hope 5 lies. Plus the channel he's on. We do not know that answer yet, but we will in just a second. So now we know it's 2001 plus 5. And now we will look at the surveillance
In the room of the Renaissance
and
man.
find the channel that he's on. You see the recording there, and his channel is 56. So 2001 plus 5 plus 56 is 2062. So that is the computer
Hope.
solution for the room of the Renaissance man. So 2, oops, I screwed that up. 0, 6, 2. So let's follow this to our next unlock, which will then give us the solution to the lock of the gargantuan cabinet. So here we have the lock, and we just unlocked it by putting in 2062. So every time you press this, it's going to give you either L or R. So every time you press it, it will say L, R, R, L, 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 R, L, R, and L. And that is your solution to the cabinet. So let's find the cabinet. I think it might be farther this way. I get confused and turned around sometimes. Alright, so we have the L and the R. So our solution was L R R L L L R L R L. L R R L L L R L R L. And that is your solution for Chapter 1, Awakening, for Device 6. This is a walkthrough of Device 6. This is Chapter 2, The Story of the Three Bears. The first animation is a conversation between three portraits, or three bears rather, where they will call each other and yell at each other and make fun of each other about their passwords. Okay, and how idiotic they are, or moronic they are. And they call each other, and the first thing you hear is Papa Bear saying Mama Bear's password is 069. Okay? Well, as you listen further, you find out that you got Mama Bear's password wrong. That is actually Papa Bear's password. Okay? So we now know that Papa Bear's password is 069. Then you hear Papa Bear saying that Baby Bear tried to log into my account, Papa Bear's account, but the idiot must have read the password upside down. So this now makes Mama Bear's password 690. So Papa Bear's is 069, Mama Bear's is 690. And then he also says that Baby Bear's password was yours and mine put together, which is Mama Bear and Papa Bear's password added together. So that's 759. So we know that Mama Bear's is 069, Papa's is 690, and Baby's is 759. Okay? We need that for a solution. So let's find that solution. This is targets, and we will get that as soon as we get the Papa, Mama, and Baby Bear solution. So here we have it. Papa Bear's is 069. So we have Papa Bear's. So we know that Papa Bear's password is 069. Okay. And we know Mama Bear's is 690. And we know that Baby Bear's is 690 plus 069. So that would be 759. All right. So let's follow these back here, and you will see that these are able to be solved now, these three locks. So we want to go back here Okay, by reaching the end of this, she tripped over a lever on the floor and heard something activate behind her. She turned her gaze and noticed 3 shooting range targets hanging from a wire by the brick wall. So that then activates our targets here. Here they are. And you will see that our target number 1 has a square. And our target number 2 has a happy face. And our target number 3 is a heart. So that is our solution here, which ends our chapter 2, the story of the 3 bears. Device 6 walkthrough. This is chapter 3, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. In order to solve chapter 3, the first thing you're going to do, you see these 3 statues there, just keep that in mind because we will have to go back to that. We need to go and get our mask on. So here we get our mask. Dear Anna, for your support and trust over the years, you have been chosen to beta test one of our new products. We hope using it will let you see and experience life in many new and exciting ways. So we have our Venetian mask. Right now our mask is off. So this is the first, the life and death wall. When I saw this, I wrote this down twice. And I marked off what the mask, having the mask on, marks off. And I also marked off the UNDS exclamation point 251, the things that aren't marked off here. Okay? Having the Venetian mask on adds to our clues here. So, a saying that we see on the Tulips visualization here says, "Look, here are flowers, and statues stand tall, for they are the hours and minutes by the wall." That is something to do with our solution. The next thing we see is, "Only that which is not seen in disguise matters by the wall." Only that which is not seen in disguise, which is why I wrote this down twice. So I see the things that are not in disguise are the letters FORTY, MINUTES. So we know that our minutes are 40 minutes. So now we need to find our hours. So, and it says that, "Look, here are flowers and statues stand tall." So we've already seen our flowers. But we need to go back to our statues and see. The statues. Here we go. With the mask on, these now say midnight. So we know our hour is 12 and our minutes are 40. So your first instinct is to go and find your solution now. Okay, we got our hours, we have our minutes. Woohoo! Let's go. All right, here we have this. We put in 12. We put in 40. Nothing happens. But then you read it and it says it's the time compass gazebo. So there has to be something to do with north, south, east, and west. So here's something weird. You see these dots here on the left, they go up and up and up. Well, let's put our mask on. More of the story. So if you got stuck on this part, that's probably why you missed this part of the story. So here we come over here and we see another picture. Okay? Before hours, after minute. Okay, but let's take our mask off. Before the hours south, after the minutes east. Okay, this is where it gets a little inky. So let's go back to our compass. Before the hours south, after the minutes east. Okay, so south is before our hours, which is 12. And east is after our minutes, which is 40. So looking, you know that south, looking at this, on a compass, you know that south is 6, which would come before 12, our hour, and 40 is our minutes, and east, which would be 3, comes after. And there's your solution to Chapter 3, Tiptoe Through the Tulips on device 6. Device 6, Chapter 4, Walkthrough, An Inverted Funeral. The first thing you're going to do in Chapter 4 is to listen to the priest on the radio. He tells you to let in a moon, let in the head of a black dog, and let in the smile from a stranger. Those are something that's very important to remember. Also, there are different channels of this radio. 2 shows a something backwards, and 3, 4, 5, and 6 are really irrelevant. So 2 is our next most important thing, because here it is backwards, but then the second room appears. The Black Chapel. As you can see, everything is mirrored. So if you look at the picture, if that's a mirror image, then that house with the chimney is going to be on the right. So we also have to remember that. So that channel 2, which was somebody speaking backwards, or playing backwards rather, is now playing correctly in this room. Okay? So he's saying south of Agent Alpha is Agent Beta. Between Agent Alpha and Agent Beta, there is an abandoned house with no doors. Me and Agent Alpha are neighbors. Alpha is the only agent with a chimney, and I have a flat roof, and so does Agent Beta. That is another solution that we're going to need, because we're looking for these question marks. We have to figure out what kind of house goes on the question marks. So let's go back here to the story. And we have this little solution. There are 3 solutions to past chapter 4. It is the most extensive chapter that there is to figure out. It took me the longest, and it'll probably take you the longest as well. Unless you're listening to this, then I'm telling you the answers. But so here in the story, it says that Anna went into this room and she found a bunch of crumpled up papers, and somebody had scribbled the words, "The solution is my ex," on the back of it. Now, is actually part of the solution. It's not saying that the solution is my ex, it's the solution is my ex. Okay, so that's something to remember, because we need to connect those letters, I-S, M-Y, and E-X, in order to solve the third puzzle. So now we have pretty much all 3 puzzles solved. So in the beginning, when we talked to the priest, we saw, he said the moon, the head of the black dog, we see the black dog there, the hammer, which we don't need the hammer, we don't need the anvil. He also said a smile from the stranger, so we saw the head of the black dog, now we need the moon and the smile from the stranger. We don't need the dancer, we don't need the butterfly, we don't need the shark. We don't need the earth. We do need the moon. So we have to add these together, and we need the smile from the stranger. Alright, so let's go ahead and solve these puzzles. So there are going to be 3 puzzles to solve. We have these triangle squares. We're going to have the lines for is my ex, and then we have the houses for the our little town with in the black chapel with the mirrored. So let's do the triangle squared ones. The first answer is the head of the black dog, which is a triangle. I'm sorry, I screwed it up already. Triangle to the bottom right. And then for the moon, we need another triangle for the bottom right, triangle to the bottom left, top right, and top left. And now we need the smile from the stranger at the bottom. We need a square, and then a top left triangle. So there's a solution to the first one. The second one is the house. This part should be blank, because remember, it was an mirror image. So we know that that one's true. So we're trying to find the one below and below that and to the left. So south of Agent Alpha is Agent Beta. Between Agent Alpha and Agent Beta, there is an abandoned house with no doors. So Agent Beta is going to be here, and the abandoned house is going to be here with no doors. I have a flat roof, and so does Agent Beta. So this is Agent Beta, he has a flat roof. I and Agent Alpha are neighbors. Here's Agent Alpha, and I also have a flat roof. So there's your second solution. And let's do our third solution. And so we are going to connect the letters MY first. There's MY, and now we're going to do IS. We need 2 straight lines here. And now we need to just connect the letters E and X for X. There we go. And that is your third solution and final solution to Chapter 4 in Inverter Funeral on Device 6. Device 6, Chapter 5, Walkthrough the Show. And this one is a fairly simple and quick chapter. She is looking for the man in the bowler hat. She finds him. And she gets into a scuffle with him. But before she does that, he tells her that she has impressed them. And that's very important to remember, because she is really trying to figure out where she is. So here we have the, we need to find the solution to the men's restroom ultimately. And, oops, I kind of screwed that up, didn't I? Here we go. It opened up here. Jonathan Eng, he sings us a song.
You have impressed us, 248.
He says, "You have impressed us, 248. It is time for you to join us now." He says, "I was the one who came here before you, and I was just as confused, but please let me." So he refers to her as 248 before she beats the crap out of him. And he says that I came here before you, so that makes him 247. That makes him number 247. Which is interesting, because what player number are you? You're player number 249, right? So when pressing this to try to enter his number 247, it, I guess, initiates this kind of cutscene, which kind of shows Anna that she is in the simulation. So she gets a hold, after she beats the crap out of 248, she gets a hold of his tablet, which then gives us the solution to Chapter 5. Alright, so here we want 2, 4, 7. Oops, I'm sorry, I can't count. 2, 4, 7. So everything else on the tablet is irrelevant. All we care about is the messages and the map. So let's go to the messages. And here it shows that this guy has been watching you the entire time. That you're waking up in the Whitechapel, and please confirm their position. And then here it says, "I think I forgot the men's room password again." And the person who replies says, "For goodness sake, how many times have I told you?" And he says, "I just need something to point me in the right way." He says, "Take a look at the routes," but that's cut off. It doesn't give a full solution. So the routes would probably, more than likely, be in the map. So here we have the island map. Oh. There we go. And it says HCF, BF, EDBF, and BF. Your first, at least my first assumption was that ACF 3, BF 1 or 2, EDBF 4, and BF 2. So your solution would be 3242, which is incorrect. However, when you look at the island map and you put together the numbers, ACF, if you draw a line with your finger, it makes a 7. BF makes a 1. EDBF makes a 4. And BF makes a 1. So your solution is 7141. And that is your men's restroom password. Let's see if I can find the men's restroom. Here we go. So that is your solution to Chapter 5 on device 6. Device 6, Chapter 6, Video Walkthrough, Technical Perfection. This chapter is quite simple. There's nothing really to figure out, but I will go through it with you guys. The main, most important thing in this one is just the end. This is where you're in the simulation room, which tells you, this is where you figure out as the reader that you are also part of the simulation, player 249. So here it says, the pain was intense. Anna screamed out loud, but immediately stopped and apologized to Device 6 for disturbing the peace. No! Snap out of it! Don't play that games! I need to switch it off! The pain returned once again, worse than ever before. Indescribable stabbing pain. I can't control my movements! Stop it! I need to shut it down! No, I won't do it. You can't make me. Just make me turn it off now. So the only thing you're left to do is to turn it off. This then reboots the simulation, and this is where you learn that you, the reader, are also part of the simulation. Me telling you this actually is giving me goosebumps. This game is really awesome. It's kind of crazy and different, but it's awesome. So here you learn about Device 6 and what it is, that you're called the Doubter. And at the end it says, Device 6 alters falsehood told, all deceits turn into gold. And you can agree or disagree. Any of your answers in this game will not depict what your next chapter will be or what the ending will be. It'd be a lot cooler if it did, but it's not. So, so I'm going to put I disagree. I put I agree the last time I played. I put I disagree the first time I played, but it really does not matter what you choose. This is Device 6, the Epilogue. Hello, goodbye. This is a walkthrough, and again, this is another chapter where there is nothing for you to really figure out. This shows Anna's demise. She's dreaming of getting off the island, but what is actually happening is in the sequence is that the man in the bowler hat comes up to her and shoots her in the head. So I'm just going to go ahead and read through this because it's pretty short. Anna made her way onto a boardwalk behind the pier house where she guessed the boat would dock. She was still surprised that someone had heard and answered her SOS. There were a couple of seagulls complaining about her presence, but besides that, it was calm. The last 24 hours had been intense, to say the least. Anna was eager to get off the island and waved to the boat. A grizzled old captain waved back. "Hoy! Was it your distress call, miss?" the captain called out. "Indeed it was," Anna answered. The boat docked neatly by the pier. The sea captain kept the engine running as he walked towards Anna and stretched out his hand. She grabbed hold of it, and the next second she stood on the deck of an old fishing boat. "Thought this here old island was deserted?" the captain asked. "As did I," said Anna as she grabbed a cigarette out of her pocket. The captain lit her a match. "I hope you don't mind me asking," said the captain, "but how did a lady like yourself end up out here?" "That's one heck of a good question, Captain," Anna said. "You know, miss," said the captain, and smiled, "sometimes the truth is a song best unsung." Anna smiled back and nodded as she listened to the reassuring sound of an old engine. She closed her eyes and put the cigarette to her mouth and felt the warmth from the rising sun on her face. The end.